Vegas, it's rock, it's dogs, it's Vegas Rock Dog Radio, a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. Stand by for great guests and cool advice, all in one rockin' hour. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. That's 702-483-4444. Now, let's bring on the host. Here is the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to the show. I'm Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and you are listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio. It's a rock and roll show all about pets, people, and pop culture. And we are here in sunny Las Vegas. And I've got Jim in studio with me, my husband.
Yes, I'm right here, ready to assist and provide backup commentary and support.
And good laughs, because he always makes us laugh.
For the
product. What do you mean for the product? You mean for the show?
Yes, the show product.
The show product. Jim is not a man of many words, but he can be rather funny when he does say something. So you're listening to the show. If you're listening for the first time, you can connect with us online in a variety of ways. And you can find us on Periscope at Vegas Rock Dog. Our website is vegasrockdogradio.com. The Facebook page is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Twitter is Facebook. No, Twitter is not Facebook. Twitter is Vegas Rock Dog Show. No W at the end. Our call-in number is 702-483-4444. And our Instagram account is Vegas Rock Dog. And if you want to pick up rock and roll clothing for you or your pet, you will go to vegasrockdog.com. Our blog, that is getting very popular these days, is where we put reviews on there, giveaways, great features. We tell you who's coming on the show, and then we put their instant replay back up on the blog itself. It's called therockandrolldog.com. And our Google Plus account is, you just find me at Sam Ratcliffe, and you'll be able to find the radio show and our clothing company and all that good stuff. And if you would like to have our show at your fingertips so that you don't have to go through the internet to find us on your phone or your laptop, what you'll do is you'll download our app, and you'll go to yap.us, YAPP.us, download the free app, and then download the show. So just look for Vegas Rock Dog Radio, and you'll have us right at your fingertip. Just open up the app, boom, and then that's where the archive shows are and giveaways and other goodies, and it makes it very easy for you. So I'm going to do a tip of the week before we bring our wonderful guest on today. And my tip of the week is based on a past guest that we had on earlier this month, which is Joan Lockley of the West Midlands Hedgehog Rescue in England. And what I learnt from Joan is, if you live in an area with hedgehogs, it's important that you can do something, to help them out. It's very simple, very inexpensive. You can actually build a ramp for hedgehogs because they are nocturnal and they like to go out at night and drink water, but they can often find themselves in danger of drowning. And if you do live near water, so back home in England, there's lots of little streams and ponds and that kind of thing. If you do live near water where hedgehogs reside, build a small ramp from a piece of wood or some plant pots, turned upside down, to help them climb out of the water. I thought that was a really, really simple tip, but it literally will save their lives. Particularly, like Joan was saying on a previous show, when they're underweight and they're born in autumn, that's when they have a really, really tough time surviving, and a little ramp would really help. And I will put that tip of the week up on our Facebook page. So I've been looking forward to my guest coming on the show this week. I like to try, like I said before, I read a lot of news every single day from around the world regarding animals. And so I get to come across incredible people doing incredible work for animals in many, many different areas. And I think a lot of people just think, people work with animals, it's rescue people. It's beyond that. There are so many people working for the welfare of animals in every aspect of their lives and our lives, and how we integrate them together and how they can be safe. And so I came across this report on crash tests on pet carriers and harnesses and those kind of products that you can buy for traveling with your pets. And it prompted me to try and get hold of this person who's been doing these tests, because it's something you really need to know about, and a lot of people don't know about because they think they're doing the right thing. So what I would like to do is welcome my guest, and I hope I pronounced your name right, Lindsey. Lindsey Wolko, is that correct?
That's correct.
Oh, I got it right, thank goodness. Lindsey is the founder and CEO of Center for Pet Safety, and in particular, we're going to talk about these crash tests, with pet carriers, and I'm really thrilled that you're on the show today because as someone who is, I would say, really informed about a lot of stuff with my pets, that report was such an eye-opener. So I'm really glad you're here today to explain how your organization started and the work that you're doing, and, how we can help get the word out about your work, because it's very, very important. So welcome to the show, Lindsey.
Oh, hi, Sam. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
And thank you for a Saturday morning.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
Because I think most people would like to just be like, I'm in bed with a cup of coffee. Maybe you are. Maybe you're calling late in bed with a cup of coffee.
No. My life doesn't do that. No, but we're always happy to share our mission and, the work that our team is working on to improve safety for people and their pets. So.
Well, this is it. I mean, it's not a Monday to Friday thing, is it, caring about, pet safety? So I really love the work that you do. What's the name of your website? So I want to make sure we get this out straight away. It's going to go up on our Facebook page, of course. But for anyone listening in, what is your website?
The website address is centerforpetsafety.org. It's all spelled out.
Perfect.
And we have all of our test evidence up there so pet owners can go and do research for themselves.
Wonderful. Now, is your Facebook and your Twitter exactly the same names, same profile names?
Our Facebook page is Center for Pet Safety, and our Twitter handle is @PetSafetyCenter.
Great, because as I said, these are still going to go up on our Facebook page. We want to share as much of this information as possible. For anyone listening in, they can actually get on the computer straight away and find you. So I can't remember where I read where the article popped up. Like I say, I read stuff every day from all over the world, and I just think this is an area that's I think it's an area where people think they're doing the right thing based on what they're reading, and it's something quite different. But I want to talk about how you started your organization. I know tons and tons of pet-related businesses and advocacy groups start from a personal experience. So how did you start this organization of yours?
Well, in 2004, I had a new dog come to live with me. I already had, 2 dogs in my car.
Right.
And I had no place to put Maggie. So for the first couple of days, she's wandering around the vehicle, and I realized very quickly that this was a distraction, and I was going to get hurt if we didn't do something about it.
Right.
So I went to the local big box retail store, and I found this travel harness, and it said it would protect her and protect me in the case of an accident. Mm-hmm. I said, okay, bingo, this is what we need. So Maggie was fit with it, and, she'd traveled with it, and then a few months later, I had to slam on the brakes to avoid an accident.
Yeah.
And Maggie's back legs had been tangled in the extension tether, and she slammed into the back of the front seat.
Oh, my goodness.
And all I heard was screaming. It was such a traumatic time.
I bet you never forget that day.
No, it really it strikes you as a pet owner, and because of all the chaos going on with all the vehicles trying to avoid all of this, I couldn't get to her.
Oh.
So it felt like hours went by before I was able to pull over and calm her down and make sure she was okay.
Oh gosh,
she was injured and she went right to the vet. But yeah, it really struck me as something that was very odd because as a pet owner, I made the assumption that all the products that we buy are tested.
Yeah, I know.
That they have to meet some standard. It's absolutely not true.
I know, and that's the thing. Like I say, you think you're doing the right thing. You're reading the information that's printed on products. I mean, it's the same with anything these days. I was telling Jim, I always feel like we have to do a ton of research on everything because I feel like we can't believe the claims,
Right,
whether it's pet food, they might say, oh, this is wholesome. I mean, like just how food's labeled,
Right.
Oh, they're allowed to say natural, da-da-da-da-da, but the parameters are so vague, You're like, really? Is that really organic? Is that really,
Right.
And I just...
all natural means nothing when you go grocery shopping, does it?
No, it doesn't. And it's frustrating because, one, it takes you a lot more time to figure out what you're going to eat, what you're going to buy, what you're going to wear. Is it really, cruelty-free? Is it, and I find it so exhausting at times. But like you did, you're like, I'm doing the right thing. The dog's in the car. We need to make sure Maggie's secure. And this says I'm going to be safe and she's going to be safe, because I don't think people fully understand. We see it all the time, the dog on the lap, all of that drives me crazy. But we see it all the time. And I see, even when I slam my brakes on, where my purse goes. And that's a shock in itself. Like, whoa, that is flying, when I slam my brakes on. So why people don't think about that for their pets is kind of weird, especially if you travel a lot, And we haven't traveled too much this year, but we do take the dogs when we can, and usually we're on a 4 or 5 hour trip, in the car. So once, what kind of injuries did Maggie sustain from that? Because you said the tether was around her legs, yeah?
The tether, she was hogtied with the tether, so her rear feet were up on the seat, and she had hit the back of the front seat, and so she was kind of dangling over, and it was so traumatic. She had a strained spine and strained hips.
Oh my goodness!
She was on painkillers and confinement. She couldn't take stairs. We had to carry her everywhere she went. So we were very lucky though, because I talked to pet owners from around the globe who have been impacted by bad pet products.
Yeah.
And even, in the travel space, some pet owners, they buy these harnesses that they're told to buy because they'll help protect their pet. But at the point of impact, when, one of our constituents, contacted us and said, look, we bought our harness product because the manufacturer said it would work. They were hit in the rear quarter panel of their car. The car spun, and the dog launched, even though it was wearing a safety harness, and was paralyzed.
Oh, gosh, that's horrible.
I know, and this is what we hear. We hear ACL tears. We have and these are very painful, expensive injuries to treat. Some people don't, we hope everyone can, heed our advice to prevent those types of things.
Oh my gosh, it's so valuable, because I feel like we're being deceived. You know,
are.
I mean, and it's a horrible feeling. When I actually posted your report on my Facebook page, I had a couple of friends like me work with animals, and very into reading up about the latest technology, the latest pet foods, the research on nutrition. The kind of pet parent that is just so in tune with what's best for their pets. And one of my friends said, oh my gosh, I thought I was doing the right thing, and I clearly was not. I am so upset, but I'm so glad you posted it, because now I can get informed,
Well, we already know that we're going to change everything we do.
Yes, we are, because what we've done is we've never done the crate situation, because we actually only have one crate, and it's the most ridiculous thing. It's huge and ridiculous and wouldn't house 3 dogs, and I wouldn't want to do that anyway. But we've been using, they're just a simple seatbelt.
A seatbelt clip that,
like an extension, really,
slips onto the seatbelt when the seatbelt is clipped on in the back seat, and then just a small tethering leader that goes to whatever harness the dog happens to be wearing.
And they're frustrating because, like you were saying, your dog got entangled in that, and then this impact thing happened. It's a disaster. I mean, mine are entangled without anything happening. They've twizzled around a million times in the back seat, and they got it around the legs, so they made it really short and tight, and then they crossed over with another dog, and it's very hard with 3 dogs, So
but that in turn causes distraction.
Yes.
So it's like we're like, all right, we want you to be, have a product that actually does something, and helps prevent that kind of distraction as well.
Yeah, I'm one of those people that when I look at products, I'm like, initially it looks good, and then I really think about it, and I think, well, that could be dangerous, or that would be a problem, or that doesn't really fit, and then I got turned off completely, but not everybody thinks that way when it comes to any product, really, because for some people it's exhausting to try and find information, or they don't even know there is information out there. And that's what I like about your story. I mean, it's awful it came out of a terrible situation, but it got you thinking, like, hang on, I've just bought this harness and it didn't work, so what did you do from there?
Well, I actually, I felt there had to be a better way. So I ended up joining the industry, to make a long story short. I joined the pet products industry, and I learned about it from the inside. Got to meet and, glad hand all of these manufacturers and figure out who was who. And, I would take calls, because I was a retailer, an online retailer, and I would take calls from people. They would always ask me the same question.
Yeah.
Will these products really protect my pet in the case of an accident? And knowing what I knew then, that there are no standards, there's no testing is required by any manufacturer. They skirt a lot of the factual information about the product.
That's wrong, isn't it?
Through marketing. Yeah, it's crazy what we've learned. So I went and I did a pilot study in 2011 where I selected 12 brands and worked with the engineers who we work with now.
Right.
And we selected the four brands we thought would hold up the best. And we had a 100% failure rate.
100%.
Wow.
Yeah, and then, a few months later, we get a phone call, Subaru of America, we were on the Today Show.
Oh.
Subaru of America called and said, hey, look, this is so important. People need to know how to travel with their pets. And over 50% of our, vehicle drivers have dogs. So
I just got chills when you said that. I mean, did you even believe that phone call came into you from Subaru?
I was sitting there scratching my head like, why are they calling me?
I just think that's spectacular. See, right there, I have confidence now in Subaru. Either they actually reached out and go, no, hang on a minute here, Yeah, we're in the business of vehicles,
right.
But we know our customer. They do. What they want.
Their zero landfill build. Yeah, they're very into their customers.
That's amazing. So you get this phone call, and I mean, it's got to be a dream come true when you get a massive company like that say, we think this is important. We align with what your values are. And so what did you do from there?
Well, we did in 2013. They sponsored the testing, so they cover all our testing costs.
It can't be cheap. It can't be cheap.
No, it's not. And that's why we look for sponsors. We have lots of other studies we need to do, so we're always looking for new sponsors. But Subaru covered the testing costs for our harness study in 2013, and we learned so much. So we now know what works. We've now published the standards, so there is a methodology, consistent test protocol we follow. And in 2015, they called us again and said, hey, look, we covered harnesses. We've got a lot of questions about crates and carriers. What can we do?
Wow. Well, listen, hang on one second. Hold it right there, Lindsay, because we're going to take a quick break because we're going to get into this a little bit more because this is going to be a great show and a real help to pet owners. Hang on in there. We'll be right back. We just need to listen to some words from our sponsors. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. Wigglebutts Uncorked, the hottest pet-friendly fundraiser of spring 2016, is about to take flight, and you are invited. Fly with the Wigglebutt Warriors in their crusade to save dogs' lives. This is no ordinary fundraiser. This is Wigglebutts Uncorked at America's oldest winery. The Bark is the new black, and the who's who of the canine world will be in attendance for this gala benefit to raise funds for the NYC Second Chance Rescue. Party the night away, celebrate, give back, and enjoy the second annual Wiggy Awards. Join us Saturday, April 16th, 2016 at the Brotherhood Winery, Washingtonville, New York. Order tickets by visiting fidosofreality.com. And remember, we're going to the dogs, and so can you. It's all for a good cause at Wigglebutts Uncorked.
Hello, this is Jim and Sam from Vegas Rock Dog.
We've been styling dogs and their humans since 2005. And no matter what size your dog is, we can give your best friend the bark and roll look that will make them stand out from the rest of the pack.
Vegas Rock Dog has a fantastic collection of tank tops, dresses, sweaters, jackets, collars, and ties for your dog.
And for you, the owner, there are rock and roll tanks and tees and great accessories. Wearing Vegas Rock Dog makes you look and feel like a rock star. And that's why everyone loves our gear, including Hollywood celebrities.
So grab your leash and go to VegasRockDog.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Vegas Rock Dog.
Hi, this is Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and here's my tip of the week. What to do if you find a baby bird. If you find a baby bird that has feathers, its eyes are open, and is able to move away from you, the best thing to do is leave it alone. The parents will find it and continue to take care of it wherever it is. Baby birds do not leave the nest knowing how to fly. Some birds can spend as many as 2 to 5 days on the ground before they can fly, and pet parents care and protect them and teach them vital skills during that time. Do not take birds into captivity. This denies them of the opportunity to learn skills they will need to survive in the wild. That is, unless the bird is injured. If you can see the nest the bird fell out of, pick up the bird with gloves and place it back in the nest. Don't be worried if the parents take a few days to come back to the nest. They may be cautious about the disturbance. If you cannot see the nest, then create one out of a small basket or a small plastic tub and attach it to a tree branch with tape. Don't attempt to feed the bird. as it will have a very specific diet.
Vegas Rock Dog Radio continues. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now, here again, your host, Sam.
And we're back. You listen to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs. And just before the break, we started to get into a conversation with Lindsey Wolko, founder and CEO of the Center for Pet Safety. And what we're talking about is how she founded this company to actually help us as pet owners select the right products when it comes to traveling with your pets in the vehicle. And she did it through a series of testing. Not cheap, but she had a wonderful story where Subaru gave her a call. And so, Lindsey, you were saying you'd already done the harness test in 2013. That was correct, yeah?
Yes, that's true.
So what was your next test then?
So we heard back from Subaru in early 2015, and they said, we're very concerned. We're getting a lot of questions about crates and carriers. So what can we do? So we put together our team. We brought our passenger safety experts back in, and we examined crates and carriers this summer, and we published test results on those. We've had a great outcome. We had a top-performing crate, the Gunner Kennel.
Oh, good.
And we had 2 top-performing carriers, the Sleepy Pod mobile pet bed with the PPRS handy lock.
Nice.
And Pet Ego Jet Set Formaframe carrier with the ISOFIX latch connection. It's a mouthful.
All of that is such good news, because I was thinking, oh my God, is she going to say 100% fail again?
Yeah.
What can we buy? Because, like I say, we want to do the best for our pets. Now, when it comes to carriers, some people just put their big carrier that they have. Do they need to? They need to be tethering that down to the vehicle, don't they? Because some people don't tether the carriers down.
Well, we looked at a lot of the tethering that people do, and we actually did a survey with one of the local dog groups here, and a lot of people use bungee cords and elastic straps.
Oh my gosh, that makes no sense, does it?
And it's the same thing as not using anything at all.
Oh my gosh, that makes no sense to me.
Yeah.
That's almost idiotic, isn't it? Wow, it's springy.
The products themselves they're not structurally sound.
Yeah.
So if you in buckling them in with a seatbelt, if they're not designed for that, if they haven't been tested, there's a huge risk there. And we provide more information on our website regarding those risks, and we make recommendations to pet owners. So we've got our CPS certified program. So if you were looking for a harness product, go to CPS certified on our website.
Yeah.
And then the top performers are all amazing products.
And then you can have some confidence, because like I said, there's a sea of products that you can buy, and you just look at everything and go, oh, well, that looks okay. And like you said, the marketing is what lures people in. It's a cute color, that harness, Some people buy that. It looks adorable. It's pink. We'll use that in the car, And it said it's safe for my pet. So, so your website, of course, I've been through your entire website. I think it's absolutely wonderful, because it's the one-stop shop, when it comes to that kind of thing. And it's very easy to say, go over there, take a look, and now you've got some great products you can actually choose. Did you find you've got Subaru coming forward because they really care about their customers, and they do great vehicles, and they really love pets. But did you have any manufacturers come forward and say, hey, we'll sponsor the test on our product? Or was that people reluctant? How did that go?
Well, we're not allowed to accept any funding from any manufacturer. So we're a non-profit organization. We work in the interest of the consumer.
So it can look like they can sway your opinion. I can see how that would certainly appear, and why it wouldn't be a good thing. Was there anybody upset that you tested their product and didn't give them an A rating?
Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness. I'm surprised I have eardrums left, I'll tell you.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, some of the manufacturers did not like this, and it allowed us to uncover some of their dirty little secrets.
Good.
So, a lot of the manufacturers that are making claims of crash testing, they only test one size. They don't test the small sizes or the larger sizes. They'll test that medium size.
Oh, that's deceptive.
It is. And so, that's one thing. They also claim crash testing, and they don't share all of the test evidence with you.
Oh, no.
we were sitting there going, now, why wouldn't they do that? And when we tested the product, it's because their product could have never passed or, at least performed decently in crash testing. It failed miserably in our test.
These are massive claims that are so dishonest. And here's, I think, a misnomer that people think that whoever manufactures pet food and treats and those kind of things, that they just love animals. Would they ever put a product to that hasn't been tested? Would they ever lie about the ingredients in food? And it's the case, though, isn't it?
It is. They love money. We know that they love money.
Yeah.
Some of them have their pets. I've talked to some manufacturers that don't have any pets at all.
Wow.
And a lot of them do. The majority of them really do care, and they're doing the best that they can.
Right.
But when you get into the safety space, when you get into, pet toys, when you get into pet foods, when you get into these things, they do skirt a lot of the realities with marketing spin, and that's very concerning for us.
That really is. Do they, is the obstacle for them the cost of testing or just the fear that they know it won't pass? Or is it?
I think it's a combination. So, in order for a product to meet, and these are very, very tough conditions,
right?
For a product to meet, and we're at the very early stages. So, we're seeing more and more participation and more claims in this, and manufacturers doing more work,
right?
Which we applaud.
Yes,
but we want truth in marketing, and we want to make sure that we can independently verify those claims, and we have a certification program open. As we publish the standards, from the output of the study, we will publish standards, and then manufacturers can then apply. It's a voluntary program, so that they can become Center for Pet Safety certified.
Which it just makes their product more legitimate, doesn't it, when they do that?
Oh yeah, our programs have been compared to Oprah's favorite things. Honestly, if they can meet this mark, their sales are off the chart.
It's exactly what Jim and I are going to do, because we're going to get... What was the best harness that you said? The best name on the harness?
So the harness we had... So in 2013, Sleepy Pod's Click It Utility took top honors, but they've since certified their Click It Sport harness.
Okay. Oh, okay. That sounds good. Because, and the thing is, what kind of price point are you looking at when it comes to a harness? 'Cause for me, my pet's life is worth anything, but what kind of price point do they sell those at?
Well, I think you're looking for somewhere under $100.
Yeah.
The Sleepy Pod products, I believe, depending, I'm not sure for the larger, because they've just launched an extra large size. I'm not sure where that price point. I believe it's still under $100.
Right.
But you look at the risk that you're saving your pet from.
Yeah.
Some of these vet bills that we get reports from pet owners, whose dogs have been hurt, they're into the tens of thousands of dollars trying to reclaim their pet.
Wow! All for $100, you could, knowing that you can go find the right product.
Right.
It prevents. So
are these harnesses, multiple use? Like, I can harness my dog into the car, and then this is the harness that we're going to go walking in when we get to our destination type items?
You can, yes. So it does have walking attachments. It's got 2D rings in the back that you connect to it. It just depends on the dog. Some of the dogs don't necessarily like walking harnesses.
Yeah.
And it's a matter of acclimating your pet to using one. But if you're going to purchase this, it is a good investment for pet owners. Any of our top performers, great investments.
I think it's really worth it, like you say, because the vet bills are huge. Or if you even end up losing your pet, you can, your regrets would be huge if you knew this information and you knew there's a good, there's the really good harness that you can get that would really make the difference. Because you've literally gone from testing to like nothing works to now we've got this range of products that we can actually put our stamp on and say you're going to be good with getting these for your pets. That's in a kind of a short time span, really, isn't it?
I think it is, and we, as pet owners, I think we really need to encourage manufacturers to become CPS certified and really encourage them to get their brand, product performance verified, because there's really so much marketing spin out there, and we still see this on a regular basis. But we do applaud the due diligence, but we want more truth in marketing.
Do they? Are there any kind of penalties for companies that lie about that kind of stuff, or is it on a basis where someone says, well, this happened to my pet, I'm going to go sue them? But is there any kind of board that says, no, you're lying and that's illegal, about your product? You haven't done testing or you haven't revealed the whole report on your product. Is there any recourse?
Well, in the pet products industry, it's a $60 billion, highly unregulated industry.
I know, isn't it awful?
And it's so shocking. Well, for consumer products, we have Consumer Product Safety Commission that oversees that, and the Federal Trade Commission. But because pet products are not classified as consumer products, even though they can have a direct impact on the health, safety, and welfare of the consumer, they are completely outside of any oversight.
Oh, that's shocking. I don't even know how anyone just morally can just lie about it anyway. You know what I mean? Why would you lie about it? That's so terrible. Oh, my gosh.
It reminds me when we were at Blog Pause this year, and we talked to the lady that makes the organic dog
toys,
chews, saying that, look at what your dog is putting in its mouth, and it's coming from certain countries, and there is absolutely no regulation,
and they're ingesting
no standard
plastics and all kinds of lines. Terrible things.
I think it's industry-wide, isn't it?
It is. And while, foods and pharma have some oversight from the FDA,
right?
The rules aren't great. The AFCO rules, that's not a government entity. AFCO is not a government entity.
Oh, okay.
So they make a lot of this is, sponsored by industry, and wait until you hear the new rules. So it's enough to make your stomach flip.
Oh gosh, it's horrible. And I can't imagine it's a high percentage of pet owners like you and myself and Jim that would actually really go out and research and read up and say, that's not going to work. I can't imagine it's a high percentage of people that actually do that. So that's a lot of people that are in a very vulnerable position, and like I say, they just go on the marketing. Marketing is so powerful, isn't it, Lindsay?
And it is unfortunate that it is as powerful without any kind of oversight in this space, because we get reports, we take reports from pet owners about bad pet products, right? And it breaks my heart every time I've got another one I have to do this afternoon, and their dog died after it took a pharmaceutical. So,
oh goodness!
We've got reports someone found a hypodermic needle in a dog toy, and
no way! That's gosh.
I have horror stories, and it just goes to show, pet owners, we need to stand up together, and we need to stand behind this mission and say we deserve more. We're paying our hard-earned money for these products.
That's right. And that's the thing. I think a lot of pet owners, we buy on emotion, I'll treat my dog to a toy, let's go get some treats, and often it's that kind of, and like I say, the marketing, and we play right into that sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
But I think, like you say, they need to be just way more responsible with that marketing, where truth in marketing is so important. Gosh, it's an eye-opener. So lots of my friends, even though they're the ones that go and research, were just, whoa, like, are you kidding me? This is the crate I use, and this is horrific, what I've just watched on this video. When you test, are you testing different sized dummy dogs or cats, or, to see the full impact of every size of pet?
With the harnesses, we tested across 3 different sizes, so the most popular, because again, the cost of these tests are extraordinary.
I can't imagine. Do you take donations as well, Lindsay, for your organization?
We're a nonprofit organization. All donations are tax deductible to the fullest amount allowed by law. So,
that's great.
Come to our website, go to the Donate Now button in the top, right-hand corner, and if you can support the mission, please do, because we have so much work to do. I'm
going to be sharing this like crazy. And I think what we'll do is, aside from putting the instant replay up on the blog as well, I think I'll do an article on there about why it is so important about your organization, because it's just the more people we can reach, the better. Are there any kind of, or maybe you're going to do one or already have one, like we have a National Dog Day, a National Cat Day, a National Chocolate Day. Have you ever, do you have a National Pet Travel Safety Day or something like that?
I know there's a National Pet Safety Day, but I don't know if there's a National Pet Travel Safety Day.
I think you need one.
I think from an educational perspective, it's so important for pet owners to understand that, it's so easy to just toss your dog in the back seat and let him ride free and easy.
Convenience.
But if you get into an accident or slam on the brakes, that dog is going to hit something in the vehicle, whether it is a console or the seat back or even one of your passengers. And people don't think about the repercussions of that and the kinds of injuries that can happen being hit by a force of that weight.
Do you know what I think of as well? I mean, just when you've got your pets in your car, what, for example, if you were pulled over by a policeman and you've got a loose dog in the car?
Yep.
I've heard stories of them getting shot, you know, because the dog, my dogs would absolutely react to someone coming to my window, absolutely. And the risk of them harming someone or them getting harmed or jumping out the car when I try and get out. So again, that pet safety, the harness is going to make such a difference, isn't it?
Yeah, containing your dog is important, you know, whether you use a harness, you know, restraining your dog, containing your dog in one of the carriers or the top-performing crate. It is just improving safety tenfold. And we've got pet owners that go out and they're spending tons and tons of money on these very expensive European products that claim crash testing. And, yes, we have watched the test videos. Yeah. But in our testing...
Yeah, it's what are the worst crates in your mind that when you've watched them on the video you've gone, oh no, because you've got to stop using these straight away. What kind of structures? I know you got the ones that have two pieces, the top and the bottom, and those that are wire. What in your mind is an absolute no today if you've got one to stop using it for travel?
Well, so the wire crates we did testing on, and all that information's on our website. But they're not a crash protection device. They are simply a distraction prevention tool.
Oh, wow!
The plastic carriers, the large, what people qualify as crates, we call them carriers.
The clamshells.
Clamshells.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. The one we had exploded. It was not a pretty picture. And then I think the one we were the most surprised about was the Vario cage.
And what does that one look like?
So the Vario cage is promoted. It's a European model, and it collapses into itself.
Oh.
But, you know, it claims crash testing and all of this. But we looked into this product, and every single passenger safety person expert that we had on site was just standing in, you know, deafening silence, looking at the difference between the start and the finish of this product. And our crash test dog, because these are weighted, instrumented dogs. They're heavy.
Yeah.
We used a 75-pound dog in there. He was what stopped the product from collapsing.
Oh, you're kidding. Oh, my...
And the anchor points failed, and we were just sitting there, you know, knowing pet owners have paid how much money for these things.
And they've believed the claim.
And again, the marketing is out there because they're showing crash test video. But the logic behind the science of this, and our crash test engineers and, you know, our experts on site were like, you do not want a product that's right up against the seat back. We have learned so much.
Oh, so what is the best positioning for a crate?
So some of the products out there, like the ProLine crate that we tested and the Vario cage, they instruct you to put it right up against the seat back. So what happens if you overload that seat back? So you've got the weight of the crate, plus the weight of the dog, and you've got somebody sitting in front of that.
Yeah.
And we've referenced a very important report, you know, that focused on child passenger safety. And what happens when you have improperly secured or unsecured cargo.
Yeah.
What happens to that passenger? And that's why, you know, our passenger safety experts are like, no, you do not want it right up against the seat back. So we've learned so much.
Because people would obviously think, oh, well, shove it up the back, it'll be secure, it won't move away from that area.
Right.
Oh, goodness.
But you load a 40-pound dog in there, and all of a sudden you've overloaded that seat back in the case of a front-end collision.
Yeah.
So that seat can just completely break.
Gosh.
And we've seen it. We actually did some testing in 2011 using real car seats. And the seats broke when a 55-pound test dog hit them.
Wow. Now, when you watch some of these tests, does it take you right back to that day with Maggie?
Initially, it did. I mean, the first time we went through crash testing, I was a mess because in my mind, all I heard was the screaming.
Yeah.
And I was a mess. Now I just get angry.
Yeah. Yeah, because the great thing is, though, if it wasn't for you, oh my gosh, people wouldn't know about this. They just wouldn't. And I think you've done such a lot since, 2011? That's only 4 years.
Yeah. But we have so much more. So we started in travel. But we get reports about collars, leashes, walking harnesses. We're hoping to tag on to do an event next year, a measurement event, so that we can get standards in place for those, because the leash will break and the dog runs in front of a car.
Yeah.
And, oh, my goodness, it's just a horrible stories.
Gosh, I'm sure you felt that you had no other choice but to start this organization.
Yeah, I did.
You know,
when we saw the results, it was just, I have to do something. This is terrible.
That's it. It's just, to me, it's for me, I can't, the whole lying and misleading people is what I can't get my head around, and I hate that, because it's not fair when you think you're doing the right thing. I mean, the guilt you would feel saying, oh, well, like you said, I bought the right harness, you know, and look what happened. I feel so terrible, you know, but I just went by da-da-da-da-da. So that's why I think your organization is just so important. Well, I tell you what, hang on the line, Lindsey, because we're going to take one more break, and then we're going to come back, and I've got a couple more questions for you, believe it or not. So
no problem.
We're going to listen to some words from our sponsors. We'll be right back. You're listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio with me, Sam, your host, the queen of rock and roll dogs.
Welcome to Barking Dogs Self-Washing Grooming, your one-stop shop for all of your pets' needs. We offer premium natural pet foods, full-service grooming, and an on-site bakery and boutique. You can choose to self-wash your dog or schedule a luxury pampering with our professional groomers. Our new Cool Cats section offers feline foods, toys, bedding, and litter, while the adventurous dog department has everything you need for your outdoor activities. Cody's Healing Garden is a special section featuring flower, aromatherapy, and herbal remedies for pets, and let's not forget our on-site fresh bakery. Ask us about Karma Connection, our program that supports animal rescue. Find us at www.barkingdogslv.com and look for us on Facebook and Twitter. We look forward to seeing you in our neighborhood. At Carl's Jr., not only do we make you happy with our delicious charbroiled burgers, but we also make your dogs happy. When you come through our drive-thru with your furry friend, we'll offer your dog a treat. If not, always ask for one. We love to see their smiling faces. Our website, carlsjroflasvegas.com, has a treat for its customers too, with free coupons anytime, so be sure to visit us regularly. Carl's Jr. is a proud and active supporter of dog adoption in our community. You can find us on Twitter at carlsjrofvegas.
Hi, this is Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and here's my tip of the week. Lost your pet's tag? Here's a quick fix. Grab a Sharpie pen and write your telephone number on your pet's collar.
Hello, this is Jim and Sam from Vegas Rock Dog.
We've been styling dogs and their humans since 2005. And no matter what size your dog is, we can give your best friend the rock and roll look that will make them stand out from the rest of the pack.
Vegas Rock Dog has a fantastic collection of tank tops, dresses, sweaters, jackets, collars, and ties for your dog.
And for you, the owner, there are rock and roll tags and tees and great accessories. Wearing Vegas Rock Dog makes you look and feel like a rock star. And that's why everyone loves our gear, including Hollywood celebrities.
So grab your leash and go to vegasrockdog.com or find us on Twitter and Facebook at Vegas Rock Dog.
This is Vegas Rock Dog Radio. Vegas Rock Dog Radio. The phone lines are open at 702-483-4444. Now let's bring back the host. Here is the rock and roll queen of dogs, Sam.
And we're back. We are, if you're just listening in right now, just tuning in, we're talking to Lindsey Wolko, founder CEO of Center for Pet Safety, and we've been talking about crash testing on pet harnesses and crates, and we're learning a lot. Jim and I are going to be making changes to how we currently travel with our pets in the car now that we've got some recommendations, because unless you know where to go, you don't know where to go, and it can be really difficult to look through all these products and just read what their claims are and go with it. And Lindsay's experience was that she was that very person and was responsible, went to buy a harness. It said it was going to help her, keep her safe and her pet, and it was not the case. And this is how she founded this great organization. Are you still there, Lindsay?
I'm still here.
Lovely. Jim has a question for you because he loves cars.
Can you let us all know, the Click It Sport, which is, I think, what we're going to go buy today as soon as we get home. Can you explain, the style of the harness and how it fits the dog, and then how it actually attaches to the car? Do you need other things for your car to secure the dog? Can the dogs fidget but still remain secure? Can you kind of maybe give us the overview of how the product works? Because it seems like that's the best immediate solution, and that's what we're going to look at getting.
Right. So the Sport is a step-in harness, so it's a fairly easy thing to put on. You have to adjust it and make sure you get the right size for your pet.
Okay.
I think that's you have to measure your pet and make sure that it's the correct size and fit it so you have it 2-finger tight.
Okay.
And both things, and that's one that you don't want it shifting at all. This one, unlike those harnesses that come with these long extension tethers.
Yeah.
This looks different. It doesn't have one of those, and there's a reason it doesn't have one of those. We've done testing of this product, and I know that Sleepy Pod has done their own due diligence, and they're definitely leading the pack in the safety space. But the seat belt actually feeds through these 2 loops in the back of the harness.
Oh, okay.
So your dog is very restrained. He can easily sit up,
and
he may be able to stand, and he may be able to lie down.
And that's it.
And that you don't want your dog moving around side to side. You don't want him sticking his head out the window. You don't want what we've been trained to do as pet owners to allow them to do.
Yes, I know. I know. I mean, I was forever looking in the back going, oh my gosh, they're tangled up, the 3 of them, forever, untangling their little legs, which was no fun. It was distressing for them as well, and it's like, this is just insane, and traveling was just way more difficult that way. So like you say, I'm looking at the picture of it right now, and there are quite a few ways you can actually adjust it to really get that good fit as well, isn't there?
Yes, and then, I have a meeting on Wednesday. I'm actually driving down to Charlottesville area to go meet with our passenger safety expert. He used to work with the Insurance Institute for Highway Safety.
Oh, okay.
And we're going to be looking at seatbelt locks and using those. We have, the newer vehicles have these automatic locking retractors for the seatbelt, so they kind of cinch up. And so Chris has been instrumental in making recommendations to us. So we're going to be doing some examination of seatbelt locks. To even make these products even more friendly, and I'm going to say, obviously, when you've got information, you can build on that, can't you? When you can say, this works, but maybe we should tweak it a little bit. Yeah.
Do you find that now your top rating companies are working, want to work with you more closely? As in, what's your recommendation? How can we improve our product? Because I would think if I was one of those top ones that you've actually said, yes, you can buy this one, I would want to say, hey, what have you found for your next test? How can we improve on this product? Are any of them like that?
We have a lot of manufacturers that reach out to us. So, and we have a great dialogue with the companies that have, been in the top performer space. So, like the Sleepy Pods and the Gunner Kennel, we have, good dialogue with them. They completely get this. And they know how important it is. There are other big manufacturers out there that we're seeing, baby steps that they're doing on their own.
I see.
We make our test dogs available to any manufacturer to, they can license the dogs.
Oh, okay.
To use, because we want them to feel comfortable. If they're going to vie for certification, they should do, their testing using our same equipment.
That's great.
We do have rules around that, but we don't charge for them.
Oh, wow.
So
that's incredible. You're making it easy for them.
We want to make it as easy as possible, but many of them are just still, they really need pet owners to push them.
Yeah.
We need to kind of stand up and say, look, what you're doing is, okay, great, you're doing crash testing, but you're only testing one size.
Yeah.
We need to see more.
Yeah.
We need to know if this really is going to work before I'm going to spend my money on your product.
I agree, because, some products are not cheap either, like you were saying, the European crate. What were they paying for that? Do you know? The one that just was horrible?
800 to over 1,000. We sampled anything that was 1,000 and under.
Oh, my goodness.
For our study, and I think I paid $897 or something for that one crate.
Oh, my gosh. I'd be so mad if that didn't work. Yeah, that's just, wow. This has been so interesting, Lindsey, because I could say it makes it easy for me now to say, hey, this is where you need to go to check out, the best carriers and the best harnesses. Now, you said, what did you say were also classed as carriers? Did you say the clamshell ones?
the plastic, the clamshell crates or the clamshell carriers that you get at your local big box, PetSmart and Co. And that's where we went to sample some of these. They're just plastic, and we would classify those as carriers. Right. For our needs, and we go into more detail in the report that we have on our website.
The reports are very detailed. I started looking through those, and I'm like, wow, this is really, really thorough. And I think if you're going to do them, they need to be thorough, don't they? And people, give you a lot of credibility for that. Actually doing that. Do people get scared when your reports are coming out? Do you hold your breath the day it launches? You hold your breath and go, "Oh no, get ready."
Pet owners are applauding the work we're doing, and we're so grateful to them. And we really do need more support because, we hope that they see the value in the efforts that we're making. And the manufacturers they get queasy. Yeah. They know we're working on something.
But here's the great thing, though. I mean, just from a business perspective, if you sell a crate or you sell a harness and you are that number one, product, your sales, like you say, are going to go out of the stratosphere when it comes to that, because you've put that stamp of that seal of approval on it. Gives you confidence. Great for the consumer. It's transparent, which is wonderful. So from a business standpoint, these companies should probably, get on board with that, because just from a business perspective, they'll do a lot better, We
hope that they do. That's why we opened the certification program. But I will tell you that the requirements for this certification program are very, very rigorous. Yeah. And a lot of the manufacturers, they like to use the marketing spin, and they're like, okay, well, we've done testing. Oh. But you haven't done testing like Center for Pet Safety has done testing.
Exactly. You're like the, what do they call it, the be-all and end-all of, if you get our stamp, then you're good to go. Right. And I think that's good. I think you should put a little bit of fear in them, so, because they say...
The certification program, and, we see this now, so Sleepy Pod has voluntarily certified their Click It Sport harness.
That's just brilliant.
And you will find the Center for Pet Safety seal on the product package itself.
Oh, that's impressive.
So that will help pet owners in the future as this grows, as this becomes a bigger program, because we're a very young organization. You will be able to go to the local store and you will be able to see, does it have a Center for Pet Safety seal on it? If it doesn't, don't buy it.
But you know what, Lindsay? I tell you, this has been such a great show. I'm going to follow this up not only with, a replay of the show. We'll put it on our blog, The Rock and Roll Dog, but I'm also going to do an actual blog post about it, because I want to be able to go back to those people that were shocked by that video and say, this is where you need to go, and this is how easy it is for you to find the right products. I think what you're doing is invaluable. You're saving the lives of pets and people, saving them injuries, saving them tons of money, giving them peace of mind, making it so much easier to travel with their pets. It's been an absolute pleasure speaking with you, I have to say, but we got a minute left and I'm going to wrap up the show. I'd like to say a big thank you to Lindsay of the Pet Safety. I've missed half of your company name. What's the company name again?
Pet Safety.
Thank you. Brains fried already. You're a wonderful guest. Thank you to Mike for running the show. Jim for being here as well, my husband. If you have the time and you believe in pet safety, please go over to their website and make a donation so they can continue this amazing work for our pets. And I'd like to say, wrap up the show with, you can help a pet in need, either rescue, adopt, donate, volunteer, or share their information. Buy them a good travel harness or a crate. Rescue your next family member. Replace the word shop with adopt, and be kind to all animals. You've been listening to Vegas Rock Dog Radio, where it's all about pets, people, and pop culture and pet safety today. I am your host, Sam, the queen of rock and roll dogs, and always kiss your pets good morning and good night. Have a great weekend. Thank you so much, Lindsay. We're going to stay in touch. I want to know all about your new testing.
Absolutely.
It's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you for having me.
Have a great weekend, and we'll see everyone next week. Bye, everyone.
lonely time. Well, it's been a long time, baby, since I had some of your dadgum good Louisiana loving.
Views and opinions expressed on this program were those of the hosts and guests and did not necessarily reflect those of Vegas All Net Radio, its affiliates, or its parent company.